Hi, I'm Marina. I quit my job in the pandemic to travel the world. After starting in Italy and exploring the area of Puglia, I'm now talking about the 10 days I spent at the Amalfi coast, or as they say, Costiera Amalfi. These 10 days were completely different to everything I did before or what I planned to do afterwards. Because there I met a friend I met like 3 years ago in Rome when I was doing my interrail trip. And now we basically just met again. Like, I told him when my flight to Bari is, and he was like, I still have some vacation days off. And this is how we did this is how we did it. Because I'm really not used to traveling with people, only people I know. And this guy I just knew like 1 or 2 days. Like, of course we stayed in contact during the whole time, but at some point I was just like, you know what, just do it. Just do it. Like, traveling together definitely challenges you in so many different ways than traveling solo. Like, I think there is no good or bad, but I gotta say I truly enjoyed those 10 days mixed with like hikes, beaches and food days. Leaving Ravello was way harder than expected because I woke up really early to like get some nice sunrise shots of the trullis. Then I had to like clean up the whole apartment, and I wanted to book like my bus to Taranto, which was my next destination. But the server of Trenitalia crashed, and so I had to somehow find a tabacci shop and get like tickets for the bus, and it was harder than expected. Then also the first bus came around the time it has to come, and he said he's not going to my next destination. The other one came like 15 minutes later, which was okay, but I was just freaking out about it. I also had to change in Martina Franca. So I'm in Martina Franca right now. Here I had to change from one autobus, the one from Alberobello, to the one that goes to Taranto, which is my next stop. And I just had to walk like 20 minutes through the city with all my luggage. Like, let's see. It's all filled. I'm over it. I won't do anything today. Like, get to my apartment, maybe walk around for a small walk. That's it. I'm over it. I'm hot. I want to shower. There at the station I asked where to go. The woman told me exactly where to go, how the bus will look like, but the bus didn't come. And I was there 20 minutes early and stayed for almost an hour later, but the bus didn't come, so I had to change my plans, book the train, and that at least worked. And also I remember at that time I can edit videos, so at least I had something to do at the train station. So I somehow made my way to Taranto, and probably didn't give the city enough credit, but I just needed to rest. So I had the whole afternoon just for myself. The Airbnb was beautiful, by the way. I got some Too Good To Go, which is actually really common in Italy, and I felt like a local because, So I had a really nice call as well with some other LCA people, so I really enjoyed it. But I was actually glad to not be alone again for the next 2 weeks, because finally I didn't have to do everything on my own. I was so ready for Amalfi Coast. After a really quick laundry session, because you gotta do what you gotta do, I met my friend in Salerno at the station, and we took a bus to get to Amalfi. It's actually not that expensive. We stayed at a beautiful B&B in Agerola, or like the village of Bomarano. Like, Agerola is a region of small villages up on a mountain. It was beautiful. So I can really recommend to stay in Agerola, because first, it's so much more affordable, but the places are amazing. It's a lot more quiet up there, so you can really like enjoy your vacation. And it's a bit like cooler as well, because you're up on the mountain. And for all those foodies of you, there's this restaurant called L'Angelo dai Sapori, and it's actually super affordable but really nice food. So definitely a good reason to go there. Yeah, and also if you feel like you want to move your body, the Path of Gods, the famous Path of Gods, is right at your doorstep. So the Path of Gods is 6.5 kilometers long, starting in Pomerano, going to the village of Nocelle, which is actually upper than Positano, starting quite moderately with some goats on the road. It got up and down a lot, and you can enjoy basically all the time the amazing view over the Amalfi coast. But I gotta say, shadow is not really there. You're walking all the time in the sun, so I can just recommend to you, go there really early. We went there at like 1 p.m, which is definitely the worst time because you're just walking in bright sunlight all the time. For an unexperienced hiker like myself, it was rather hard, but I managed to do it. But if you're like a bit of experienced, it's probably gonna be super fine for you. So after the hike, you end up in Nocelle, where you have like a piazza. You can get like fresh squeezed lemonade, or you can like have a spring there where you can like refill your water bottle, and then you can decide if you want to take like public transport down, which is a bit more complicated, so we didn't do that. We took the 1,700 steps down to Positano, and I can tell you, we did feel our legs the next days. So I can really say, do yourself a favor and start your hike pretty early. But like, if your fitness level is higher than that of a potato, you're probably gonna do just fine. Another way to avoid the crowds in the cities is the hike, my personal favorite hike, Valle de Ferriere. It's a 4.8 kilometers hike starting in San Lazzaro. San Lazzaro is also a village from like Agerola. You have to start with a lot of steps, but afterwards it's really super easy to walk. Like, you don't have these huge ups and downs all the time. A lot of the time you're walking in the shadow, like in the forest, which is pretty nice. Still, you have sometimes really nice views over the coast, but it's basically most of the time in the forest. So on a really hot day, I can definitely recommend to do this one over the Path of Gods. And the best thing is you're gonna end in like a natural reservoir, which has like a huge waterfall, a really nice river. We actually, like, you can take water from the river, you can like relax a bit in the river, like not in the natural reservoir, you have to pay for it. But afterwards you walk along the river, which is really, really nice. Yeah, also you're gonna end up in the back of Amalfi and walk along like this lemon plantages, which was just simply so beautiful to see. At my personally, I prefer this part of Amalfi way more than the city, like at the coast. So this is really a nice part to see something different there. After our bodies really had enough, we enjoyed beach days at Capo di Conca or close to that, and also Positano. I gotta say, I didn't like the beaches off the Amalfi coast that much because you have like all those stones, so it kind of hurt me to get into the water. But being in there, it was fine. And I can definitely recommend you to not go to like the city beaches that are like really in front of the city. It's just super overcrowded. Since Amalfi is like the general changing point for buses, and you always have to change there if you take a bus down from Agerola, we didn't really plan a whole day to visit the city, and I'm really glad we didn't, because to be honest, in Amalfi there is not really much to see except for like the church. Then you have lots of restaurants and tourism souvenir shops. I was a bit disappointed, to be honest. But instead we made our way up to Ravello, which is a beautiful, beautiful village up on the mountain. I think maybe it's even a city. And there is also the famous Ravello music festival located. And I've never been there to the festival, but I definitely want to do, because the whole atmosphere of this town is really, really nice. In this picturesque city, you can also find two villas, like the Villa Ruffolo and the Villa Cimbrone. And Villa Ruffolo is actually the place where like there's usually like a stage in summer for the music festival, so you can like stroll through the garden. Depending on when you go there, like when we got there, they were already building the stage, so you can't access everything. And it's a €7 entrance fee, so you really have to think like if it's worth for you. For us it was. Also you can like go into the tower, and I think also up you can watch like a nice video about the history of this place, which for me was really nice to see. So it's up to you. But if you're on a budget, then skip Villa Ruffalo and instead go to Villa Cimprone. You have to go there one way or another. You have to walk a bit up the stairs, like if you're coming, you see Villa Ruffalo on your left, and then you take a way up. And it's at the end of the path, but the garden there is beautiful. It's also €7 entrance, but for me, for us, it was so worth it. The garden is beautiful, and the view you have over the terrace there, wow. You see like all of Amalfi, it's just simply beautiful. And you also have a little cafe there where you can overwatch the scenery. It's really good, and I can really recommend it. And besides Ravello, of course, you can't miss to visit the city of Positano. I think it's definitely the most popular one, but for me also one of the most beautiful ones. But be aware, it's a tourist city. Like it's not like in Ravello where you have like those small and silent streets as well. It's just tourists everywhere. So if you want to go there, probably go there really early in the morning. Be aware that there are a lot of steps everywhere. But in general, it's just a beautiful city you can like spend a day at. After our time at like the real Amalfi coast, we took our way from our B&B to Sorrento, where we had another nice place to stay. Sorrento ain't just like a summer holiday city. It's actually a huge city at like the peak of the peninsula, and people are still working their normal jobs. But I gotta say, for me, Sorrento was one of my favorite because this whole vacay vibe just got me really. Like the promenade is beautiful, the harbor is stunning to watch, a lot of really good restaurants, and yeah, I just felt the vibe there. It was not like this, because Amalfi Coast for me sometimes felt a bit superficial because it's just the place to go. But Sorrento has still this kind of normality with it, which I really enjoy. Also with the metro, basically all the parts of Sorrento are connected. And if you want to have some beach time, damn, I got this one for you. So first, we went to Bagni Regina Giovanna, which is basically an ancient Rome building that like over time fell a bit apart. And there is like now a connection to the ocean, which made this a natural pool. And I don't know, this was just such a special place to see, and I haven't seen something like this. It was so nice to chill out there, like sit on the rocks there, relax a bit. Also, before you walk down, you can actually get like some snacks at a little market there. So I can highly recommend this. But I suggest you again here, either come super early in the morning so you have the place for yourself, or you come in the afternoon and afterwards enjoy the beautiful sunset up on the rocks, because you can see like the city of Sorrento, but also see the Vesuvio, like the volcano. So it's really nice. One of my favorite beaches of all of them was Baia di Laranto. It's a bit more complicated to get there because you need to take a bus to Nerano, get off there and have 40-45 hours hike to get there actually. The way down is easier than the way up. But it's actually a pretty nice hike, and you get rewarded with this beautiful beach. You can either like lay at the beach itself. There are several rocks where you can lay down, sunbathe, and the ocean there is just so beautiful. It's clean. You can go snorkeling there, a lot to see. And also there was a boat coming at like lunchtime, which provides you with like ice cream. So that was really nice. Be aware there is no infrastructure, so you need like, there's no toilet or like some shop or whatever. But definitely so worth it to go there. I can highly recommend to go. So that was actually our last day there, and I couldn't have dreamt of a better one, because that was just, this beach was just simply beautiful. I felt so good there. So again, these 10 days were so different to what I did before or what I planned to do after. But they taught me so much I didn't expect to learn. It was just this Italian way of life. I learned to love so much. The power of relaxation and taking things slow. It is okay to let go sometimes, and just learning how good it can feel to live your truest self, and it can actually like be good for others as well. Yeah, just live your inner truth without any compromises, because people will love you anyways, or even more. And with that, I'm gonna end the video here. I really hope you enjoyed this little story time about my time in Amalfi. I actually didn't vlog all too much because I really wanted to live in the moment, enjoy this holiday, because for me it felt more like a holiday, not like this traveling on the road. But Amalfi is definitely something you should see once in a lifetime, but if you go there, please go there before June and after like August. So maybe go there between September and May. That way you will definitely avoid the crowds, because there are crowds, you have no idea. I really hope you like this video. If you like my content in general, make sure to press the subscribe button, give me a like, and so until next time, stay tuned, stay curious, and stay creative, my friend.